Here, where dense forests meet endless swamps, time flows differently. This is Great Volin, a land that has been a crossroads of worlds for millennia. We know the history of knyazis and battles, but what do we know about those to whom our ancestors prayed before the advent of Christianity? They left no books behind, only silent burial mounds, strange village names, and fears that still live on in Polesi legends. Gods of dense Volin. Unlike Kiev, where Knyaz Volodymyr established an official pantheon, in Volin the faith was different, more archaic, more alive. Archaeologists find here, like in the Babka settlement, strange sanctuaries. Round, surrounded by moats, where no one lived. These were places of contact. Here, fires were lit and sacrifices were made to the one they called simply Baba, or Mokash, the goddess of earth, water, and fate. The main lord of this land was not the formidable Perun, but Veles. He was called the cattle god. But cattle in ancient times meant not just cows, but money, wealth. Volin is a trade route. Therefore, merchants and ordinary people revered Veles above all. He was the ruler of Navi, the world of the dead, and could take the form of a bear. Even in the 19th century, the inhabitants of Polisia, when harvesting rye, left a bundle of ears of corn on the field, Veles beard, a gift to the old god for the harvest. But Volin hides a real mystery. The Volin Galician Chronicle contains a unique mention of the god Teliavel. This is a celestial blacksmith. Legend has it that it was he who forged the sun and threw it into the sky so that it would shine for people. This image came from neighboring Baltic tribes, the Latviags and Lithuanians, and merged with our Svarog. Here, among the swamps rich in ore, the blacksmith was a magician, equal to the gods. Of course, the Knyazis' army had its own god, Perun, the god of thunder, lightning, and war. Oaths were sworn in his name. The warrior wore a miniature axe around his neck, the symbol of the thunderer. But here, in the forests, his power was less than that of those who lived in the wilderness. The real master of the territory was Polisun, or Lisovic. In Volin, it was believed that he herded the wolves like a shepherd of sheep. He decided whether the hunter would return with prey or perish in the swamp. They didn't pray to him. They negotiated with him. Bread and salt on the stump, and the first game killed was his. Otherwise, he would lead them through the forest so that they wouldn't find their way home. But the most terrifying were not the gods. The mavkas. These are not the romantic beauties from Lesya Ukrainka's drama. In the beliefs of the Polish Chuk people, these are the souls of deceased unbaptized children. They are beautiful from the front, but if you look at them from the back, they have no skin, their insides are visible. They are the undead who envy the living. They, along with mermaids, go out on the green holidays to nourish the fields with moisture, but woe to anyone who meets them in the rye. Polesi ethnography records the unique, often frightening attributes of mermaids. They were described as women with large breasts, iron tits, with which they could kill a man, or with a pestle, makogon, in their hands with which they could crush a passerby in a mortar. And Volin is also a land of werewolves. The cult of the wolf in Polisia has extremely ancient roots. In Volin beliefs, two types of werewolves were clearly distinguished. Witches, those who transform voluntarily for the sake of power or harm to others. Bewitched, victims of witchcraft, often wedding trains, transformed into wolves. Such creatures retain human intelligence, do not attack livestock, and suffer in animal skins when trying to approach humans. Christianity came here 1,000 years ago. Temples grew in the place of shrines. Perun became Elijah the prophet. Veles became Saint Blaise, and Mokash dissolved into the image of Paraskiva Friday. But the spirits of the forest and water have not disappeared. They remain in fairy tales, in prohibitions, in embroidery. They are the memory of the land, which remembers the times when the forest was a temple and every tree had a soul.